So on the topic of Tyranids and the new 7th edition and things that are changing and maybe some bonuses and such, has there been any change for the Genestealers? Because this is a unit that many people wanted to be able to play. And, they were really hurting in 6th edition. So 7th edition, has anything really changed? Several significant boosts, I think. Making them more useful, we'll have to see as I play them in a few games. First thing, the Broodlord. The Broodlord is a character, which means he could be your warlord. He's probably a survivable warlord because he's connected to an entire squad of guys, and he has a decent toughness. But I'm not sure I would really take him as the warlord. But it's an option. Now, other things to think about. The Genestealer Broodlord is a Psyker, and by default he's going to know Horror and Dominion. And with the FAQ up and posted by GW, he gets a 6-inch synapse bubble if he uses Dominion. That doesn't sound great until you think about how this could be used. This means that Genestealers come in, they infiltrate in, they're sitting in ruins. In 6th edition, people just mowed them down. Well, now, depending on where they are, but now you could go to ground, get your 3-up cover save, maybe a 2-up cover save if there's night fighting on round 1, and then pop off Dominion on your psychic phase, and they stand back up because they become fearless. Now, they can't move because psychic phase is after the movement phase, but they could assault. So depending on where your opponent placed themselves, a bunch of Genestealers that had gone to ground, they were kind of looked at as harmless for a while, suddenly get up and can assault. So that makes them somewhat better. And the 6-inch synapse bubble, while not huge, it is 6 inches in all directions from the Broodlord, so that's a foot wide on the table, giving some of your potentially downfield guys synapse. So Genestealers, they got a little bit of a boost. If you take the formation Genestealers, the Broodlord hunting pack, or the Manufactorum Genestealers, they get a pretty good boost because of that, and because if you play the new missions, the old missions not as much, but the new missions where scoring is something you do every round, then the Genestealers become really useful because these guys are troops, so they have objective denied, they're infiltrators. If you take the formations, they also can sort of appear in ruins and such, and buildings. But because you can get them all over the board with pretty good placement with the infiltrate or with outflank, you can take these guys as troops and really use them to start scoring points, because you want to do that in the Maelstrom missions. And having played those missions, I think they're far more fun, maybe with a little bit of agreement on some of the cards. Like, if no one has a flyer, you just discard that. But I found those to be far more fun, far more dynamic than the old 6th edition missions where you're fighting it out and then scrambling for objectives. So these guys, they have some utility. They're still not great, but they have far more survivability with Synapse off of Broodlord. Also makes them fearless, so they don't lose combat and then have combat resolution to tear them up. So these guys got a little bit better, and I think in the Maelstrom of War missions they may actually be quite good because they're scoring and objective denying units.